Career-spanning vinyl sets are something that's really seen a boom over the past 5 years or so from the big vinyl boom. And what I've seen is companies taking advantage of definitely artists that everybody would want to own most or all their records from. And a lot of times I see them doing this with as a way to get you to buy kind of all the records at once, including ones that haven't been released before. All of that is encompassed by the new Stevie Nicks vinyl box set, which includes all of her studio work. So there's no Fleetwood Mac stuff here. It's not advertised as such, but there's no Fleetwood Mac stuff. And then on top of her solo works, you get a 3 LP set that's all rarities, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Russ. This is Lauren. We're going to go through this before. If you've been with the channel for a long time, you know we have usually had a ton to say about vinyl records on the channel. Lauren is newer to vinyl records in general, but Stevie Nicks is one of her favorite artists. So this whole thing kind of works together for us to do a good review on it. We always cover the same bases, which to me, I feel like are what you need to know about a box set. So one thing I've long said on this channel is you don't play the cover, but I do know that packaging matters to me. I just, after I own something, I don't so much care about the packaging. But I know that it matters for a lot of people. So as far as this box goes, the only thing I'll share with you that I find basic about it, and then everything else I have is positive, is the whole box set itself is just kind of in a big slipcase. I don't know how with vinyl you would do something more, in depth than that.
Yeah.
So, but the actual records themselves, I think, are great reproductions of the sleeves. Was there any positives or negatives from the packaging of the overall set or the records themselves that you had?
No, I speaking to the ones that I owned all of these on CD. Okay. So speaking to the ones that hadn't been on vinyl before, I think they did a really good job translating the CD booklet packaging into like that vinyl experience.
I've seen that done very poorly.
Yeah.
So it's good that they did it.
Yeah.
Well
I was like,
here.
oh, this is what I would have imagined in my head, all of this just being bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I have railed on a lot on this channel is please do not ever give me paper sleeves, ever. Now, if you have owned any of the records that were previously available on vinyl from Stevie Nicks, which is Belladonna Through the Other Side of the Mirror, if you have original pressings of those, in this new set, you're going to get reproductions of the original paper sleeves. They're kind of thicker cardboard, but they're not like lined inner sleeves or anything. But for the records from Street Angel forward that have never been on vinyl before, in this box set, they did the right thing and gave you rice paper inner sleeves. There's a Ozzy Osbourne box set that costs more than this did that came with all paper inner sleeves, and I was really mad when that happened. So with this, I do understand giving you original reproductions of the ones that were already out. I understand that, but I like that they gave you what they should for the other. And one other note too, I just remembered too, is if you have an original pressing of The Other Side of the Mirror, it is now spread over 2 LPs like it should have been in the first place. In the set, which I like a lot.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And I mean, I'm not going to go off on a full rant about it, but like Other Side of the Mirror was a really weird time in Stevie's career because she was a woman in her 40s that nobody knew what to do with. Right. And that album is so great, and it just didn't get the push that it needed because
nobody knew what
she's
to do
40.
Yeah. Sound is obviously super important. Now, the things I asked Lauren, because Lauren is far more into Stevie Nicks from a solo aspect than I am. So what I asked her to do is, because you've owned original pressings of Belladonna, Wild Heart, Rock a Little.
Yes.
How did the pressings in the box set stack up to the originals you've heard? So I guess let's start there. So if you were to put on this, because they're all on crystal, like clear vinyl, if you were to put on an original pressing of Belladonna and the one that comes in this set, did you hear any difference, or was anything better or different?
I didn't really notice anything different. I've had a couple different versions of Belladonna. I've had an original pressing, and then they did a deluxe thing, and so I've had both of those things, and I didn't notice a big difference between those two. And this is also just
okay. Yeah. So when you get to Street Angel forward, Street Angel, Trouble in Shangri-La, 24 Karat Gold,
and In Your Dreams,
and the rarities stuff. What are we looking at sound wise on those?
I thought they sounded great. Take Trouble in Shangri-La, for instance. I felt like that sounded better than I've heard it sound before.
That's the only ones of her later solo works that I know really well, and I thought it sounded better than I'd heard it sound before. So that, as far as sound goes, we're still doing good as far as a review is looking. price wise, I don't even know this. What did you pay for this box set?
This was $300.
Okay, $299, and probably shipping of some sort. How do you feel now? This is where it's hard. You have to set aside being a Stevie Nicks fan. Like you're a super fan, so for you, this probably could have been. Honestly, I'm not being funny here. This probably could have been priced $500, and you'd have been like, "Oh, well, I gotta own it. It's all the Stevie stuff, right?"
Yeah.
So for an average fan, if somebody says, "Oh, yeah, I don't have," if somebody says, "I only have half of that," and I'm gonna buy all of Stevie's records anyways. Like, what do you think the pricing is? Do you think it's worth it?
I think it's definitely not like, it doesn't feel overpriced, and like I guess if you do the math for how for what you get in there, I'm not a math person, but I feel like it works out that you're paying like a reasonable price for like each individual thing in there.
It's gonna come out to I think around $20 a record. Which my thing is, if you're gonna try and find original pressings of Belladonna through Other Side of the Mirror, you're probably going to spend more than $20 a piece anyways. So then it's a matter of, I don't know, maybe stream some of her later material. And if there's stuff that you like, then it's probably better just to pull the trigger on this whole thing. So that the last point that we usually touch on comes in that with value. Like, do you think that 300 now, as you're putting your Stevie Nicks fan hat back on, as a Stevie Nicks fan, do you feel that you got your money's worth, or do you feel like maybe with some other artists that we've discussed on the channel before, that they have just thrown some things together to get $300 from you, the end? Like, do you feel like you spent $300 well?
I think so. I think so, especially since basically half her catalog had never been released on vinyl in the first place. So you're not, it's no small thing. You know, you couldn't get anything, literally 4 albums, right? Yeah, so it's half and half. And plus the rarities stuff, which it's just kind of fun to have and listen to. So I think it's it's worth it.
Stick with us for one more second, because that's usually where we stop our reviews. But I do have a bit of a rant thing here on this. Rhino, do not do this again. Other record companies, do not do this again. For those of you who may not know, if you're seeing this video and you're like, I didn't even know there was a Stevie Nicks box set, you may not have known that because Rhino decided to cut mom and pop local record stores completely out of this equation. Do not do this. This is ridiculous. The fact that the mom and pop record stores are already up against so many things with Amazon and even big box retail that's left, Best Buy and Walmart and Target, all thinking they're in the vinyl game. We do not need companies like Rhino cutting out the mom and pop record stores altogether. When this box set was announced, the first thing I said to you was, hey, I got a guy at a record store. Do not order that. Let me, right? And then I texted my record store guy, who instantly was like, yeah, I can't help you with that because Rhino will not allow me to sell this to you. They're doing it as an exclusive. Rhino, don't do that. Record labels, don't do that. Allow people who love music to sell music to people who love music. This has way less to do with Stevie Nicks or this box set. It's more, hey, Rhino, don't do that. So please, any record companies that view any part of this channel as good for music collecting community, this is a music lover, 2 music lovers telling you, we know music lovers who sell music. Allow them to sell your music, please. As far as the box set goes, from a very casual Stevie Nicks fan, I would absolutely I would buy this for what you get in it for the reasons you said. And from an actual huge Stevie Nicks fan, she did buy it, and she gave you all the reasons why.
Yeah.
If you're interested in the box set or you have more questions on it, drop questions in the comment section for us below. If you would, please share this video out anywhere that maybe our thoughts on the box set or my thoughts on Rhino. I think you echo my thoughts, but
sure,
my rant on Rhino might be appreciated. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.